Is chasing your dreams worth it?
No!
Today, they're not gonna lie.
Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode on NGL People where we talk about real things that matter. My name is Zeleny.
And I'm Natasha.
And today we're going to talk about a really exciting topic. We're going to talk about following our dreams. And today we have two friends here with us who have been in the music industry for over 10 years and are still going strong. Okay, so why don't you introduce yourselves to our viewers?
Okay, hey, hello everyone. We are
The freshmen.
Yeah, like what Zel just said, we've been in the industry for over 10 years. Actually, we've been around for about 17.
Since Project Superstar.
Yeah, but as a group,
As a
it's
group,
been
it has
14 years.
Yes.
So now we need to sell ourselves to let you know how successful we are
Yeah,
so
we've
that you will
told-
listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna go all out, like
Yeah,
thick
tell us,
skin
come.
max.
It's very not us, but we'll try. Let's go.
Okay, why
What's
don't you?
your biggest achievement? I mean,
I tell you, very easy. My biggest achievement is forming a group with Carrie.
Wow!
and our biggest achievement is singing at Nata's wedding.
They sang to my second
Sold
march
out
in.
concert.
Yeah, but aside from that, we've also released 2 full albums, a few, one EP.
One EP and
Many
a few
singles. And,
we have like one like hit.
You're supposed to
hit.
sell
It's
yourself.
a hit.
Sell
Okay,
yourself.
yeah.
It is a
we
hit.
have a song that is like hello, like what 16 million.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, not easy, okay?
Wow.
Yeah.
It is impressive.
Yeah, you need to sell yourself.
Okay,
you need
so,
to practice.
Yeah, so we are the singer-songwriter of 放不下的活着.
活着.
Yes, I
you
think
can
it was a very
support.
popular
You can
song.
support our music on all the streaming platforms:
Yes.
Spotify, Apple Music. Just
Homegrown.
search The Freshmen.
Yeah.
Most of the songs are written by ourselves because
Yes.
we save money that way. So one of the things that maybe people will know us from and know us by is that we also sing backing vocals with JJ Lin right now on concert tour.
They say it so casually.
Also with Jackie Chong.
Jackie Chong.
Another
She's-
candle flex.
Sung with David Tao, Wang Li Hong.
Hong.
Yeah, I've sung with Carrie O.
Very big name also.
Kit Chan, yes. Yes,
on.
yeah. So
My biggest
we've been
achievement.
around for a long time lah. Hor.
Yeah.
We have to sell ourselves right at the start of the podcast so that everything else that we share after is going to be
People think
you
it's
know, there's
credible.
weight, there's credibility.
Yeah. No, I think what's credible, we've been through a lot to get to this point where I think we're kind of comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah, chasing this dream.
Yeah.
Very real journey.
And another thing is that as artists, we've always been independent. So that is quite like if you're off the beaten track for chasing a singing dream, then we are even more off. We're at like the side road of the beaten track because we're independent. We're not signed to a record label and we don't have people who point us in a certain direction.
So you have to do
Or
everything
take care of
yourself.
us.
You have
Yes.
to find your own gigs.
Yes.
You are
Yes.
each other's like
Yes.
PA.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Okay, I think like to our listeners who are listening to this, if you are interested in entering the music industry or just doing any freelance work and you feel like you're so alone in this journey because there's no organization backing you, this will definitely be a podcast
Yes.
for you.
Yes,
So let's
yes.
jump right into your story. Okay, how did you guys get started in the industry?
In 2006, oh my god, some people not born.
Yeah, I think so. Like,
Okay,
some
never
people
mind.
just born.
Okay. This is history, okay? This is history. Okay.
Singapore media history. Once upon a time, there was this show called
Project Superstar.
有你就有他。How many years? Almost 20 years already.
And how old were
17
you?
years.
How old were you back then?
I was 20 turning 21 when I
Wow.
first joined this competition.
I was already 25, turning 26.
So we represent 2 different demographics where
Yes.
for me it was a little bit like an accident that I ended up in this. I didn't want to join, but a friend of mine, his name is Zijie. Now he's a YouTuber. He's a singer as well. I was having classes in university. He went to queue up for me at Toa Payoh Hub to take a number. It was like a lot of people. People go at 6 a.m. to queue up.
When you didn't
He
know he
went-
was doing this?
I did.
He told me later on. He said, just come, I'm in the queue. You just come after your class.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
my
so then I went because I was like, oh my god, you're queuing up for me. I paiseh, right?
Yeah.
So
You
I
have to
went
go,
down.
yeah.
I went in, I did my audition, and kind of like the rest is one thing after another.
Oh, what a good friend eh.
Yes.
Yeah, he's so
Yes.
invested in your success.
Yeah, he really
Yes.
believed in you.
Yes. Yeah, I don't understand why, but Carrie is someone who really like had to make a very difficult decision.
Yeah.
Carrie,
In
what
order
were
to
you
enter
doing
this.
then?
I was actually working in, can see right? Not gonna lie, right?
Yeah.
No censorship, right? Yeah. So I was working in SPH actually. I was doing advertising sale. Yeah, and to be honest, like I've always wanted to sing. If I went back to see my like primary school like those report card, they will ask us to fill up what's your ambition, right? It was girl show.
Wow, you're living your dream.
I didn't know that I was so daring in
You're very daring,
writing it out when
Mine
I
is
was
those
in
kind of like,
primary school.
Oh my god, you're the only person I know that fulfilled her childhood dream.
yes leh.
But I denied my dream, right? After graduation, like, oh yeah, I thought, forget it, no way. So
Get
I
a
went,
proper job.
yeah, and get a corporate job. It just felt like impossible, you know? So I didn't dare to
dream.
pursue it. So I went into corporate job for quite a few years. But I think eventually I decided like, oh, I can't deny this dream anymore. I was like, okay, I'm getting to this point, 25, 26. It's like, if I don't enter the industry, I think I'll be too late.
If you don't try.
If I don't try, I would just regret for the rest of
Because
my life.
she already, because we joined Project Superstar 2. There was already Project Superstar 1, which was wildly successful.
Yes, and
So she had already let that one pass.
Yes, so the company realized that I joined a MediaCorp singing competition. And I was called to HR and they're like, girl, you're not supposed to join a competitors competition.
And now you have to
And
make
now
a
you have to
decision.
make a decision. You either quit or you have to quit the competition.
Yeah.
And then I quit my job.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I
and
took
what
the-
round was this in the
And
competition?
I was just at audition only. I was at, I
40.
think the round 3.
Just got in the top 40, I think.
round 3, and I was going for the last round of audition. Like
The final
one
one
at
was
Suntec.
40 people, then they will choose the top 24.
24,
So
yeah.
not on TV lah.
No,
at all.
not
yet.
yet.
Oh my gosh, you're all in.
Yes.
I was quite determined to give it a shot. And I had full confidence in my ability. Not
That
as
helps.
a singer, but
Oh.
as a corporate person.
Oh, that means you can find another
I can
job.
find another job lah. Not as a singer. Yeah, I'm not confident as a singer, but
Actually,
I'm
that makes
I'm
sense.
very confident as a
It's
a
true lah.
worker.
It's true.
Yes,
It's true.
yeah.
Okay, so after you all went through the competition, like what happened?
She was the female
Champion.
champion. I
Female
was the
runner-up.
runner-up.
Oh.
I started off great. Where I felt like God opened the doors one by one, one by one. And then after the competition, that's when reality really hits, where you think something is going to happen to you because you just came out of a very successful, national on a televised competition.
Yeah.
And nobody came knocking, nobody came offering you
labels lah.
opportunities.
I think I was depressed. Like, I remember waking up crying. Like, I woke up and I'm like,
Was it all worth it?
what should I do today? There was nothing for me to work towards. Like, yeah, it was just empty. And then we got a call. I was then offered a contract to act.
Right, okay.
And because I had no opportunity to sing, I was like, okay lah, just try lor. Yeah, so I acted for about 1.5 years with MediaCorp, but it was definitely not what I wanted to do. The first day of filming, right, I drove out and I cried buckets.
Yeah, she called me in the car.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I signed a contract and I'm stuck doing this for a year.
It was a culture shock for her.
Yes.
Because singing and acting is very different.
Firstly, it's very different. And so acting is very much a team thing, right? So if you're bad and you forget
You
your
pull
lines,
down
you
everybody.
pull down everyone's time and everyone will scold you.
Everybody will make it known that they are
They are
annoyed by you.
unhappy with you.
You all didn't get offered any
There was
singing.
no singing gig. Actually, all the time when I was acting, I was still looking out for opportunities to sing, right? I thought within MediaCorp, I also can try and sing lah. But yeah, it was just not a great they are not good with singers, So eventually, like, I stopped acting and I was telling her, like, hey, we got to take things into our own hands so lah. Yeah, we can't just wait for opportunity to, drop into your lap, right? So I started just knocking on doors. We talked to a few companies and some people were keen, but somehow, like, the more we talked to them separately and together, we realized that this is not what we want.
Or you just don't click, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you can be talking to somebody who is from a very, very reputable company. And maybe this is one of those companies that you've thought about that you want to be signed to.
Yes.
But when you're having that conversation, just something just feels
Like
not
it's not
so
right.
right.
Yeah.
Not that it's very wrong, but it just feels like you're not settled in. So when you're then asked to whether or not you want to continue this conversation, you have to make a lot of very difficult decisions where you actually have to say no.
You have to walk away.
Yeah.
And it's quite hard because you're probably in a position of desperation.
Yes, no, and you're very
yeah.
you're like, well, will you get another opportunity?
Yeah.
Yes.
I am not in a position to be picky, right? You're like, beggars can't be choosers. So if somebody wants to sign you, you better take it. That kind of voice that is in your head.
Yeah, we were kind of like soloists, right?
Yes.
Yeah, from Superstar, right? And then eventually I told her like, hey, I think it's better if we do this together.
And that was the first thing out of a lot of unknowns where I felt, oh yeah, sure. You know, like you don't even have to try and use logic or anything. It was very simple for me. And my only question was to her,
Will we survive the friendship?
will you walk out of this? Because I know she will get annoyed with me at some point.
Of course.
And like my worry was really the friendship. If we get into this working partnership, is the friendship going to last?
It's like starting a business with a friend, right?
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes,
Yes.
it is. Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask two things. Finance and parents.
Okay.
Okay.
Very Asian.
Let's talk about the practical side of your
Because
dreams.
y'all were saying that, your parents, like, maybe it's just
Yes.
a competition. Then after that, when you
Yes.
realize that you really want to do this,
Yeah, man.
especially Carrie, then
Yes.
how are your mother?
Oh yeah, so I shared before, like my mom was always very controlling, right? That like every part of my education, right? She's like, you go here, then you go there, then you go there, and you study this. Then I'm like, okay. Every part is I'm like, okay, right? So then after graduation, you go and find a work. I don't care what work, you just go and work. Then I'm like, work, okay.
Yeah, singing also work.
Then she doesn't think so, man. So when I joined Project Superstar, round 3, because round 4 like on big stage already, right, in Suntec City, I had to tell her. So I told her, and
Wait. When you quit your job to join, she don't know.
no, that was the same time. Yeah, it was the same time. So yeah, she threw a pen at me.
Not
I
pen
have
life.
a pen.
I throw it.
I have a daughter. Throw at her.
Singer-songwriter.
So yeah, that was the first time I said to her, no, I really want to do this.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
that was the first time you really stood your ground.
Yeah, I just quietly stood my ground. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna try this. And then 你的工作怎么办? Then I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna quit. No, like she's like, no. So yeah, she shouted at me. She gave me cold lah. But then I just quietly. I think the way to convince your parents, right, is to just do it.
You want to say that to the camera?
Advice we get
Yeah.
today.
Just do it. And no, do the close up. Just do it. And don't fight them. Because actually there's no convincing them. You got to show them with your action. This is truly what you want to do. And you work hard at it. Like they see your determination. They see your, perseverance.
Perseverance.
So if you're
Yeah.
willing to try 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For your parents, though, they very quickly came on board.
They came on board, and my mom was just so supportive.
Whereas my mom took years
Yes.
in order
Until now.
until now better, but she's not as harsh and discouraging. Yeah.
How was it like at
Yeah.
the beginning?
It's very discouraging one.
Yeah.
It is like you just
Yes.
point out all your flaws and
Yeah. 你这么矮又不美又
yeah, really just
So
just point out all
short,
your
so
flaws.
ugly.
Correct. And she'll even pull herself down. She'll pull herself down because she'll say, 我知道的，因为你是我的女儿，我给你的基因不好。Then I'm like, okay. Yeah, and then she'll tell me 回头是岸啊。She'll tell me what
Okay, no, the 经典, right? Every day, because I was staying at her house, right? Every day we come down from the upstairs after we wake up and come down, right? She go, 你们2个啊，还要无所事事，游手好闲。
Your mother scold people very cheap,
无所事事，游手好闲，好吃懒做，
不务正业
不务
also have one.
正业多
I think
久？
she's like the 250
anyhow
cheng
use,
all the
correct.
bad one.
Yes,
anyhow
really.
use.
No, it's not anyhow. It's true.
I never 不务正业 what?
What's that? What's
读会是不务正业啊？
不务正业 is like you do bad stuff lah.
No,
Like
no,
正
不务
is
正
right.
业
Like
is
never do right
no
careers,
proper jobs.
Yeah.
Like and to her mom, right, is go and 上班. Like you go
Like
to the
go office
office
lah.
Do your 9
and
to
do your yes.
My
to
mom's
her-
dream for me, right? Her aim for me, right, is to be an accountant. That's the last thing I want to do, guys.
but you
Last
never even
thing,
studied it,
That's why
isn't it?
I can only tell you, right? Your
So she
parents
was
are
not happy with
your
her
parents are not
studying
always right. Yeah.
Yeah.
you feel as her kid, like
I feel very stressed for the first 2010 was when we first released our album as Chaban Sheng. 2009, right, was the year that we spent producing the album, and I just quietly gave her a monthly 家用 every month out of my own savings in order to kind of like keep her quiet. make sure that she doesn't worry about me. Because if I give you money, it means I should have enough, right? But actually, she doesn't know I'm just giving out of like whatever savings that I have.
You just wanted to
saved.
assure her.
I just want to assure her and also get her off my back. Yeah, so I did
So it
that.
worked.
It worked, but then after releasing the album, like we just shared, it did not take flight. There were no other doors that opened, you know.
Cheng Tiang was quite popular.
The album did well, but in Singapore market,
Again,
we
it's the-
did one program, Sheng Xiong. Can you imagine? There's no other
music
programs
TV program.
for singers to go on.
Actually, it's true.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard.
And Xing Xiong is wrong audience, man.
Yeah, 百倍. So then after that we were very lost and but you know, like the years of in the wilderness that we had, where we decided we're not giving up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to give up, but we need to be responsible because we still want to do this dream, but how are we going to keep ourselves alive while doing this dream? So we end up doing a lot of other things. Like I also ended up teaching tuition. Actually, I started working as a waitress first. Then I became a barista. And then I taught tuition. And then she was doing website designing,
I did so many things, man.
selling clothes.
I translated for this Chinese painter also.
Painter, right? Yeah, you had
Yeah,
to.
oh, I was damn cheap, man. Then I also
We did radio
I
programs.
produced a cookbook.
Yes.
It was
Really
super
multi-talented,
random.
eh?
It's super random. I did so many things.
But we also had a lot of good
Yeah.
friends in the industry who gave us a lot of small little jobs here
Yes.
and there.
Yeah.
And kept us going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was 2012 when we went to
We did
Taiwan.
radio drama for 958.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all
many
still
fun.
managed
So
to
fun.
get by financially.
Yes.
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 That means we don't need to, how to say, we don't need to, we don't make our
Depend
parents
on-
feel like
yeah.
we are pursuing a dream but at a deficit.
Yep.
Yes.
We were still earning our keys
We were-
enough to, you know, eat, buy our parents some meals.
We
here
always
and
say
there.
that we were practical dreamers lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta find a balance.
Yeah, and we were very sure, we both agree. Okay, we don't agree on many things, but when it comes to things about Chaman Sheng and the dream, sometimes we really do align. Like for example, we both never enjoyed reading interviews where singers talk about how, you know, they went somewhere to pursue their dreams, then they very poor thing, every day they eat cup noodles. Then we're always like, why must eat cup
这么
noodles?
辛苦。
Got other cheaper things to eat one, what? You know? And like we knew that we didn't want to
Yeah.
be
We don't want to keep singing and telling people about how difficult
Yeah.
our dream is.
we didn't want to say
it's
support
our-
local, we very辛苦. No. We
Yes.
want it to be like
yes.
support local because we're worth supporting.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I really don't like support local just because local. No, support the music.
Like,
Yeah.
we're good lah, we're good.
Because of the
Just
talent
don't
and-
just don't have a bias against us.
Okay, when we first started the
Yeah.
album, we were in an era where I say era, everyone think Taylor Swift, right? So we were in an era where you really need a lot of money to produce one song.
Yes.
Wow.
So we were very
Yeah.
blessed. Chama Shang has always been very blessed with very good friends who may or may not, how to say, they sometimes I feel like these friends are the ones who keep us going.
Yes.
Because they believe in us more than we believe in ourselves. Because when you're doing it on your own, right, and there are so many people who are talented, so many people out there who are prettier, taller, and have better opportunities. That when you look at them and you are suffering or like you are very tired from trying to run on this off-beaten track, you really start to think, maybe it's really not for me. And then you'll have a friend who will come and give you something, give you help or a word of encouragement. And I think that was what we survived on. And so in order to amass funds for our first album, which cost us about $80,000, not gonna lie,
Yes.
80,000.
Out of your own pocket.
Yeah, and 80,000 is just for songs.
Yes.
We have no money left for marketing or anything else.
Yes.
Which is why just now when I said
goodness.
now we are singer-songwriters because we wanted to save money. I started writing really, really because after the first album, every single melody that you buy
It's 1,000 plus.
is 1,000 plus.
Oh.
So I figured if I write it, I save
1,000 plus.
$10,000 from my album.
Yeah.
eh.
That's a lot. And also because she's a really good songwriter. I was like, even before we started doing any song, I was telling her, you gotta write. I think you can write. I think you can write. She's
I
like,
didn't think I could.
I
I really didn't think. Even until now, I still like, I don't think I can write.
No,
Can
you
lah,
can write. You
yeah.
are so good. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think if anyone's hearing this, right, I only got I studied until grade 5 piano. I cannot read Tauge. I really struggle with it. And when people ask me how you write, right, I don't write with an instrument or with chords. I can only write with my voice.
Yeah. You just sing a melody. lah.
Yeah,
Just
so
records. She
so
just
in
records.
an industry like mine where there are so many amazing musicians,
Yes.
it's so easy. I feel so little.
Yeah.
So even until now, I just now I try to introduce ourselves as very established people, musicians, songwriters. Even until now, it's still it's still a continuous journey. Do not give up. And do not belittle what I've been given.
Yeah. And sometimes you look at other people, you're like, oh my God, they're so much more talented. Then you start to have imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask y'all too, right? Because in this process of like trying to become singers, you did a lot of odd jobs and a whole variety of
Yeah.
random things. Like, how did that actually feel though?
Like, did it feel a bit like a detour, or like, 'cause
I
there
think
was no
I think what
offers?
so for example, I was a waitress. That was a little bit tough because you know, like I was working in a cafe in Bishan Park, and there were a lot of people, a lot of artists who would come by that cafe because Caldecott is actually very nearby. So even that, you know, it took me quite a bit of internal struggle and building up of myself because there was nothing to be ashamed about. I was actually very proud of what I was doing. I was enjoying my time as a waitress. I was learning how to balance 3 huge plates on my hand. I thought it was damn cool. I loved it. Yeah. Like pork chop and then an oxtail stew and something. And I was carrying it all out. You know, these are things that they were teaching me. I made good friends there and stuff like that. I learned a lot
now
behind
you go
the
your
kitchen.
own shows, you can carry all your sound.
Now actually when I serve, you see when I clean up stuff in Sanity, I can do that one. Yeah. But it was definitely difficult. But I think what was more difficult was when I was a barista in the CBD area. Because not about meeting artists, because I think artists we kind of understand
this stuff. Yeah.
being in this line. It was when I bumped into friends who were working in the finance district, who were obviously high flyers, bankers, lawyers, and
probably
they would
earning
come in for an
tons.
espresso and they'd be like, "Hey Diya, what are you doing here?" And I'm wearing an apron,
Yes.
and you know, giving you your latte. That one was really tough for me. But there was this one time when I met someone and this acquaintance from Nanyang Girls, and she said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And she said, "I'm so envious of you. You're doing something you like." She just said a very simple thing like that, and it woke me up. You know, it just kind of like turned on a light bulb in my head where it was very gloomy, and I realized, you're right. She just put it in a very nice way. I am doing something that I like. I'm doing this in order to pursue something that I like. But actually, I'm also enjoying this coffee learning journey. So all in all, I just learned to be contented in that moment. Yeah, that's one thing that like
I think
pops
we
up.
have all been conditioned, right, to think of success or life in a certain way. You know, you go to school, go to uni, then you graduate, and then you hold a good job, and you earn a lot of money, then you buy your first condo, right? But actually, the life is really not about that. It's just about fulfilling your purpose.
And everybody
Just
has a
about like
different
好像容易讲.
path
Okay,
lah.
Just
yeah,
about,
it's-
wow.
yeah, you know, just live up your purpose. But actually, follow your heart. Do what you like, right? And then, you don't have to feel insecure. You don't have to feel. I was doing all kinds of odd jobs. People recognize, hey, aren't you the singer? I'm like, I'm doing this to support my
Even now.
singing dream.
Even now.
Yeah.
She does producing also for certain photo shoots. And people were like, are you?
a singer? I'm like, yeah.
And as a producer, she very lata.
I'm very extremely lata. It's like
As in lata, like she's very,
yeah.
she's not like prim.
I don't look like
she's
an
not put
artist lah.
together.
I mean, I
I mean producer, right?
Yeah,
So you
she's
just
like
yeah,
very
you are
busy.
in like black t-shirt and black shorts.
Then the hair very
and then
messy.
like hair messy.
Then she got a lot
one
of things
sling
slinging
bag
around.
and then all your pen and whatever.
yeah.
I think, right, the thing is, we don't really think of ourselves
As
singers also. Like when I first joined Superstar and then like, you know, I wanted to at least have an album. But I asked myself, why do I even want this album? What is the point? There are so many good songs out there, so many good music out there that are uplifting and inspiring and everything.
What can I bring?
What can I bring to the table? You know, like who am I? I'm such an ordinary person. I actually have a blog post about how I'm a plain Jane. And then I got to know God. And then I found my purpose. Like, even if my voice, however small, can help to comfort someone, can help to bring joy to someone, then I'm on the right path. You know, so I think my identity as God's child really just helps because I have no issue. Like, people see me as a barista or as a producer or as a web designer. I have no issue because my identity is not in being a singer. And not in being these things also. I am God's child and I'm just living out my purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, I think sometimes maybe like same thing because I'm also Christian. Sometimes we are we feel this motivation or this drive to pursue something and then we get lost in the pursuit. I think that's very common for many people, right? You know, even NGL, like you start a podcast and sometimes by the 33rd episode, sometimes you wonder to yourself,
Why
is
am
this,
I doing?
what are we doing again? You know, you get lost in that pursuit.
This is the 33rd episode.
Yeah, I know. That's
You
why
very-
I said, I know.
Oh
I
my
know. I
gosh,
was
you.
listening to it.
She pays
when
attention.
when you introduced. Yeah, so I think even for us as singers, right, you can really, really work very hard.
True.
And I'm very determined. I want to write 100 songs in this month. At some point, you lose sight of why am I doing this?
Yes.
You know, you're lost in that
Yes.
purpose. And I think when I hear her story right now, I think it's where before she got to know Christ, she was already going towards a certain direction based on the talents and things that God has placed in her life. But at some point when she formed a relationship with God, then it found purpose.
I think why is
Why
very
do I do
important.
this?
We talk about chasing dream, but is your dream does your dream mean something? Like we actually have a song called 是爱哈利 is Love Harry, right? And we have these 2 lines, the lyrics there.
To summarize it, it's, you know, a lot of people like to say that
人因梦而伟大.
like we are
human beings are
Noble
noble
because
because
of
of
their
dreams.
dreams. Yeah.
Right? So dreams is like such a big thing. But then again, if your dream is not driven by love for someone or
something.
something, if it's not driven by love, it's nothing.
yeah. So then the counter phrase would be that without love, dreams are nothing.
Yeah. So 人因梦而伟大，我说
梦因爱而伟大。
Yeah.
Like dreams are made great because of love. Fueled by love.
Yes.
So even like you can sing, you can like, I want fame, I want whatever. What is this fame for?
Yes.
Fame is never going to be that thing that's going to keep you going.
Yes.
So I think
Yeah.
the only secret to why we're still here after 17 years,
Yes.
it's love.
Yes.
Because we would have given up a long, long time ago.
Yes.
If not for love. Because we did not have the success that the world sees as success. We did not have the numbers. We don't have the numbers in our listenership.
Well,
we don't
until
have the
today, my
numbers.
Instagram only
If
16,000.
you hear this, please
follow
follow
us.
us.
Please say. Help us.
I think our next podcast title should just be called PFU. Please
Why?
follow us. Because we really need to
Start a new
garner
one.
more,
It's like-
more followers, you know.
Why? Not interesting, man. I just follow lah. Interesting, man.
Yeah, but so we don't have the numbers, right?
Yeah.
But we continue somehow.
Yeah.
Because it just felt
And our fans are so introverted and secret. Like, we don't even know who are our fans. But like, they're somewhere.
at the correct time, right? God will send one to come and encourage us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like when we have concert, like, suddenly got people buy tickets. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, good.
So it's been a very interesting journey. I
It's
honestly
been
think
very-
Shabash's
yes.
journey is quite
yeah.
interesting.
When you say love, right? What do you mean? Like love for what? Love of what?
Okay,
Love
so for
for-
us, it's like love for God and love for people.
For her, I think it can be very different things.
Yes.
Yeah, because I am definitely
fine.
someone who
Those people you.
no, but mine is definitely love for people, I think.
Yes. Yeah, love for people.
Like whether I'm a barista or waitress or like I'm a singer, I really, really need
So
people.
you want to serve
she
people.
has a very servant attitude. Like she really like to serve people.
Yeah.
Or like she always carry a big bag because there's always medicine inside. There's like fans. You know, like, oh, you hot ah?
Oh yeah, I always have
got
something.
Doraemon back eh.
Yeah, she got her
Wow.
own bag. I think we are quite driven by this love for people. Like our songs are not about love, like like relationship kind. Like it's always about like 放不下活着, which is like quite a surprise. Like we wrote it and it's about death. It's about the loss of loved ones. It was actually inspired. How to say, not inspired, but it was written out of this grief that I had. Like my cousin, he had a car accident and passed away.
Yeah. And grief is really just losing someone you love a lot. You know,
Yeah.
so it's still love.
So so you know like, and it went out and then so many people found comfort.
I think music for me, for whatever we've been doing, it's always been something that can reach the people that we normally cannot. Like
Yes.
the people that I cannot physically reach, my
Yes.
music has done that.
Yes.
And it has come back and given me strength.
No, I like what you all say about how pursuing your dream is not about the dream itself, but it's what fuels the dream. And
Yes.
it
Yes.
seems that
Yes.
it's so much it's so
Yeah.
much bigger than a dream
Yes.
actually.
You're
Yeah.
right. If you think about
Yes.
the dream in the middle, right, is what fuels it, and then who it reaches out to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that interim
Yes.
thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can be anything. Like
Yeah.
even actually I was thinking about purpose, right? About how like I want to lead my purpose. As a singer, as an artist, it sounds like the purpose very big, very grand. But even that friend of mine who came for coffee and said to me, oh, I'm so envious of you for doing what you like. She lived out her purpose that day, right? And planted a beautiful seed in me. Like,
I don't know
I
about-
needed it. Like, and I
Yeah.
feel like she, even though she was maybe, she's a high stress working environment, where she earns a lot of money, or she's maybe feeling a little bit discontent, but she lived out her purpose that day. I feel,
Wow.
you know?
As in, I think it's more about her spreading love.
Yes.
Yes,
she had
spread
something
love that
nice to
day.
say.
Yeah, she spread kindness that day.
So to whoever is listening to this, right, you may not be, someone who is like a freelancer like us. You might actually be on a path that is so-called more usual, but I'm sure it's still beaten, okay?
And today we're talking about dreams, right? Also, and about your friend. I think dream is not just about those fluffy thing like being a singer, being an actor.
Everybody has
Yeah.
their own version of dream.
Yeah, you can dream to be an accountant, right? Or you dream to
Yes.
earn a lot of money, but hey, share
What
some
is
of
it
the
fueled?
wealth.
Yeah, what is it fueled by?
Follow Chapan Show.
And how do you share, right, the fruits
Yeah.
of this?
Yes. Yeah.
I think at the end of it comes down at least for you, it's people, it's
Yes.
relationships and how you
Yes.
can leave an impact
Yes.
on someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question. I find it very interesting that you say as a singer your goal is not fame. I mean, for you it sounds like your dream exceeds yourself lah. You hope to put meaning into this world and put love into this world. But I'm sure that there are people who want to be singers, want to be actors, want to be
Yes.
all these things because they want to be famous.
Mm.
And it could be quite a
Could be their calling also.
or even for some people, they just really want to do it for themselves. They may not have such a clear output into other people's lives, onto
Yep.
the world, right? And is that not enough?
I feel of course, sure, like live your life, right? But that's when it's easy to get lost. Yeah, I think that's just the difference lah. It's easy to
I don't
like,
think we can.
how to say when fame doesn't come or like the result is not equivalent to what you expect, then you will fall.
So I think you make a fair point that
Yeah.
if the output that you're hoping to get out of it is fame, then it's very easy to get very discouraged.
Yeah.
But if actually your output is something more than that, if fame is just kind of the thing you get along the way, then it helps you to tide through the seasons where you don't have that fame. And I think this is quite a relatable thought to people who are in the freelance industry because obviously I think most people want to succeed at something that
Yes,
they're trying to
for
do
sure.
lah. Like maybe your version of success may not be very, very grand, but you hope to at least feel good about your pursuit, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if that output that you hope to get is very tied to the success of your work, then that doesn't set you up for seasons that it just doesn't go your way lah.
Yes.
It's really hard. I mean, we just take Instagram, right? Sometimes you post and you are hoping that you can get that many number of likes,
Yeah.
right? And when you don't get it, it can be really depressing one because you immediately, instantly, the value that you have for yourself drops so low.
Yeah, I always think like, you see, I'm not interested.
It's very, it's an unhealthy thing. Then sometimes you anyhow post something, then there are a lot of likes, you're like, I don't understand.
Yes.
I don't get it. What's with this
like,
world?
This post interesting, man.
Yeah. But whatever you just mentioned, right, it brought me back to something that Rui En once shared. Where she, because she was such a successful artist, the moment she came out, she was super famous. And she shared about how at that point, she lived for herself and herself only. And that everything that she did, whenever it was good, it was on her. But then she never realized that the downside is that when it fails, it's also on her. And she doesn't have that sort of, we're not equipped for that. Like we always think that we're very equipped for fame. But there's
But what
also a
about failure?
counter
Yeah.
to that. However high you go, there's also going to be a drop. Yeah. So when she shared that, it was very authentic, and I think once again it brought me back to the whole idea of like what kind of a purpose are we living out and what is our identity. And she shared that like to her identity is not I'm a singer, I'm a producer, I'm a what, I am a child of God. So if you come back to that, then you will always fall back to there into like, a loving arms of something, like, a friend even. When we have a bad day, we reach out to a friend or we turn to a family member. That's something that we all need. Yeah. So whoever is listening to this, whatever goal that you're reaching for, just make sure, I always feel, have good friends, have a good support system.
Yeah.
Okay. So on this, right, I have a question. How do you redefine success but not lose your drive? Because you say that's what you struggle with, right?
Redefine
Yes.
success but not lose your
Yeah.
drive.
Yeah.
Wow, podcast episode 34.
Break it down, KPI. You go out, how many people recognize you?
Wow. Every day you must count it.
Yeah.
Just mock me, just mock
Our-
me.
our
Then
fans
people
are-
will think I'm famous. A lot of us have lost that patience to wait for it to really
the
blossom.
perseverance.
I feel like being in a freelance role, you have to hold many tensions. Like one of which being that in some sense you're not entitled to success.
Oh,
but
I really like this.
at the same time, like you still gotta believe that you can be successful if you work hard enough. So that's the tension.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
At any point have you all ever considered giving up?